Hey guys, so it's Sunday, the day after the last homestead video came out, and it's already gloomy. Got a chance of rain the next 3 days. Mainly Tuesday I think is the worst. Tomorrow's just very little. However, I wanted to show you what I did yesterday. I finished the stucco here on this side, and I got it started over here, just kind of using up what I had. Now, I didn't get a chance to paint those boards yet, so I'm going to do that today. Well, maybe. I am painting today, and there's a reason. I actually somehow sprained or did something to my arm. Not sprained, but it's like strained or something. Like the elbow all the way to my wrist and my two little fingers. I don't know, it hurts. Like I can barely hold this camera up right now. And I think I did it when I was scooping the stucco to put onto the pallet thing. Just over and over and over again, and it's not light stuff. It's thick, heavy stucco. So for the next couple of days, I'm going to take it easy, spend some extra time in the sauna, but just do some light work, which still needs to be done to get the roof on. I'm going to start painting the stucco today. So I went and got some paint at Lowe's, and I hope that I chose the right color. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to change clothes and then get started on that.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you, on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life, I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
All right, it's a couple days later, and it's been raining off and on, almost nonstop, a little bit for the last couple days, and it's just clearing up right now, hopefully forever. But I needed to make some bacon this morning, and I was about to make it the way I showed you guys how to make it a few videos back. And I got a lot of comments like, you've never seen that method before and you were going to try it. But I also got a lot of comments about a different way that is so much easier. So we're going to put that to the test. Many of you said putting the bacon on a rack with like a jelly roll pan or a cookie sheet with sides underneath it and cooking it in the oven at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes was going to get me perfectly crisp bacon and save the fat, which is important. I buy the expensive bacon because I don't want the preservatives, and so I need to get the fat out of it as a secondary free product with the bacon, because I use bacon fat a lot in cooking. So in order for this method to win out over the method that I talked about, this has to do three things, or there's three criteria I'm looking for. Texture of the bacon needs to be nice and crispy, not limp and soggy, and it has to be easier. Now, I will admit that stirring the bacon in the pot over a 20-minute period off and on is a little time consuming, maybe when you have other things you want to do. So sitting it on a cookie sheet, that sounds good, but then it also has to have the third criteria of the fat. And I need, out of a pound of bacon, I need a cup of rendered fat. So got them ready to put in. The oven's heating up to 425. We're almost there. So I'm gonna put them in and I'll get back to you with the results. Okay, we've reached 20 minutes in cook time. So by this time, my method that I used before was finishing up. Now, depending on how crisp you like your bacon, I suppose it could be done by now, but I like mine more than this. So we're gonna set the time for another 3 minutes. Okay, we're at 23 minutes and we're almost there. 2 more minutes. All right, I've got to take it out because the ends are getting done, even though the middles aren't where I would like them to be. Okay, so I'm gonna let them cool a little bit. My first thoughts are, there doesn't look to be a lot of fat in the pan. My second thoughts are, the ends are getting extra crispy, but the middles still aren't. So not cooking as evenly as I had hoped. The time it took for cooking, this took longer. However, this was less labor involved. I just had to put them in there and let it sit. Whereas with my method, I had to stir it, every couple of minutes. So taste, texture, that comes next. All right, well, I can already see that this is not how I want it. Now, if you don't care about your bacon crispy, this might be the way for you, although the ends that are crispy but dry and almost taste burned, but not really, just very dry. Now, obviously, it's really hard to mess bacon up, so I wouldn't say this is just ruined, I'm throwing it away. No. But taste and texture, I win. Now let's check out the fat content that has rendered. No. So not even a half a cup, where I got a cup from doing it in the pan. Not to mention, cleanup is going to be a beast. In my other way, the pan cleans up super easy. So in all ways, except for the labor involved, and really what is stirring every couple minutes or cutting up the bacon into 4 pieces, I would say I'll be doing it my way. But at least you know now, you've seen both ways, and you can choose which way you want to do it. I'll leave a link up here for the video that I did the other way in, so you can check that out if you haven't already. Now time to get on with breakfast, and then see what we can possibly get done out there in this soggy mess. Probably nothing. It's a couple days later, and we have some more sun. So give everything just a little bit of a chance to dry out. We're supposed to get some more rain though on Wednesday and Thursday. I don't think it's too much, but it is starting to feel a little like spring. And I wanted to just take you up here and show you my spring bulbs blooming out, because it's really, even in the rain, I was able to look out the kitchen window, see them, and it just made me more happy. There's my potted tulips. They are growing taller than their leaves now finally, so that's a good thing. And then the muscari is doing great, look at that. And the daffodils. And here I've got a bearded iris that has put up a bloom stalk quite a bit earlier than it really should be. The muscari all under there. I've got two types of daffodils. I think this is called Ice Follies. This is a good one for perennializing here in Southern California. And then I have a double one that the earwigs are actually really enjoying. I think that's earwigs. But look, they're just eating them out even before they're open. I need to put some earwig traps out. So I did get the paint done on the left side and on the front. Still have the right side and the dormer to do. Now, while I like the look of it, it is a bit stark for me. It's very clean and it looks just a little too new. And so I'm going to be aging this a little bit just to give it some more interest and, you know, just to make it look a little bit more authentic. Now that does not have to be done before the roof goes on, so it won't be. So a couple of you asked me or talked about that the roof seemed to be getting waterlogged and maybe I should be covering it with something. I forget what you called it, but there was a name for it. Kind of like a stick-on protective layer. And while the wood has gotten its share of moisture, it still is actually in pretty good shape. And we don't have long for it to go on, and there probably won't be much more rain that it has to deal with. However, I got to thinking, because the roof, the thatch roof, does have an underlayment, which when I looked at what you guys called that thing to stick on the roof, I think it's the same thing, except it's a tan color that will blend underneath the roofing, the thatch roof material. So this whole bottom palette here is rolls of that. So really I could start putting that on as I finish the different painted areas, and that would give it the protection. I am a little bit nervous though, I have to be honest. The roof wasn't cheap. In fact, I think this is the most expensive chicken coop that's ever been made. But I love it. But the roof wasn't cheap, and so just starting that has me a little nervous. Now, I've looked at lots of videos that the company that sells this roofing put out on YouTube. There's a couple questions I do have, though. I'm going to see if I can contact them and talk to somebody about it, because it's not the kind of roof that just anybody, you can just get a roofer in here and have them put it on. Not that I would. There's no way I'm spending another dime on the roof. And before I can even do the roof, there are a couple of things I have to get done. I still need to stucco and paint the dormer. I need to finish this side here with stucco and paint. And then the roof up here that you see, this little section right there, I have to finish the wood on that and stucco and paint it, which is all fairly easy and could probably be done in a day and a half. What I'm most concerned about is the chimney. It still doesn't even have the scratch coat on part of it. The reason I'm nervous about it is because it's high. The roof behind it, I can stand on it, but it's very steep. And then even when I've done all that, I still have to put the final coat on, which is going to be a mortar, and it's going to be stamped with faux brick shape. And I've never done that before. However, I've never done a lot of this before. So if I keep that positive, just keep looking back at this and thinking I've never done that before and I did it all, you know, I probably can figure it out. It may take some trial and error, but this coming week, I should have much more time to devote to it while it's dry. I had to do a lot of that painting when it was still misty out here. So even if it rains a little bit on Wednesday and Thursday, I can probably sneak out here and get, you know, some of it done between the rains. But I guess that will be all in next week's video. So there wasn't a whole ton of meat in this video because I wasn't able to get outside very much. Well, there was a bunch of meat, right? The bacon, which those pans were so difficult to clean. You guys try it my way from the video before. I mean, honestly. This was a good idea if you need to like throw it in there and you got company coming and you got to get it done quick and you got a million other things to do. But if you want it for taste and texture and easy cleanup, I still say my way is the best. I'll see you guys next week.